The Toronto Raptors have some very key decisions to make, and very quickly they have to make these decisions. Pascal Siakam has been the Raptors' key player, or one of their key players, for a while now, and going back to their title team, their second most important player. But with his contract coming up, and he has turned down a contract extension from the Raptors, Siakam has said that he would like to stay, but with the Raptors where they're at, does that really make the most sense for them? The Raptors are kind of in that purgatory where they're not good enough to contend, but they're not bad enough to tank. They're right in the middle, and they've been like that for a couple seasons now, and really since Kawhi Leonard left for the Clippers after their 2019 NBA title season. The Raptors also have a decision to make on OG Anunoby, who is also like Siakam and one of their key players, but it seems more than willingly that he's going to be the one that is dealt at the deadline. I doubt the Raptors will flip both of these guys, as Masai Ujiri is really unwillingly to tank, and it's been his nature is to add to the Raptors and continue fighting for the playoffs. But the Raptors need a hard reset, and trading OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam would be the best for this franchise going forward, but I don't really know if they're going to do that. Pascal Siakam would instantly become a contender's number 2 and can push a good team to a great team and a great team into an outstanding team. Siakam's offense game has really grown, and I think his defensive ability could even be more impactful on a winning team. The jokes about Siakam, obviously about him constantly going to the post and just doing spin moves, but Siakam is really a complete offensive player. His jump shot has really come and gone, but in the right circumstance, I think Siakam could look great. Imagine Siakam in New York next to Jalen Brunson. I think their games would fit really well together. Also, Siakam in Philly next to Embiid, or even Siakam in Miami with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Siakam can do anything. He's going to control the pace. He's going to push the pace. And he's really developed as a playmaker as well, especially since the Raptors have drafted Scotty Barnes. And speaking of Scotty Barnes, the Raptors have to figure out if Scotty Barnes is going to be their 1 or their 2. And it's looking more and more likely that Scotty Barnes' sophomore slump was just that, a slump. He shined in his rookie year, and he is shining this year. Scotty Barnes is almost averaging a double-double, playing more on ball as well. He's also looking to shoot a little bit more this year, and that's really opened up the rest of the offense and the rest of his game. In my opinion, Scotty Barnes is more of a 2, but Scotty Barnes is a really high-end, really good player. He's a guy that not only is going to stuff the stat sheet, but he's a guy that just makes winning plays as well. The Raptors, I think, need to blow this team up with the mindset of Scotty Barnes is our franchise player, but maybe we have to find that star player later down the road. And then you have OG Anunoby, whose offensive game is just continuing to grow. And OG has consistently been one of the best perimeter defenders since coming to the NBA and would instantly be a plug-and-play starter for any contending team that trades for him. I do think he is the one that is traded at the deadline for these Toronto Raptors, as they can get multiple first-round picks and maybe even a role player for him. Picks are what these Raptors team need. I have alluded to Masai Ujiri. I don't know if he will actually blow it up, but I think it's in the best interest, and even he knows it. That is the best interest for these Raptors, to just blow it up and tank for a couple of seasons. They're in that purgatory of not being bad enough to tank and not being good enough to contend. And with a recruiting class of this coming into this next college basketball year of Cooper Flagg, I think this is the perfect chance for the Raptors to blow it up, tank, and potentially get the first pick and get a franchise cornerstone like a Cooper Flagg. This Raptors trio of Siakam, OG, and Scotty Barnes didn't achieve what Masai and the rest of the Raptors organization thought they would, but it's because they didn't have that star player. Kawhi came in for 1 year, won a title, and left, and they've been searching for that number 1 ever since. They thought it would be Siakam and kind of build a team around that, but realized Siakam was more of a 2, and if he's your 3, you're probably a 65-win team. This Raptors organization has to notice this, and I think they do, because it'd be hard not to. OG Anunoby, I think, gets dealt at the deadline, and I would not be surprised to see Pascal Siakam get moved as well. Yes, it hurts as a Raptors fan, if you are a fan of the Raptors, to see a homegrown talent like OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam traded, but it is best for the future of the franchise and officially hands the keys over to Scotty Barnes. But this Raptors organization is also one to think the other way. A lot of people thought they would blow it up at last year's deadline, and they didn't. They kept Fred VanVleet, they kept Siakam, they kept OG, and they traded and added a center and bringing back Jakob Poeltl to push for a play-in spot, which they ultimately did win in the play-in, but ultimately did not make the playoffs. And a lot of people thought that was a dumb decision by Masai Ujiri for giving up capital. There is a clear choice to be made by this Raptors team, and it is to trade OG and Pascal Siakam as well to hit a reset and, yes, tank for a couple seasons, but eventually there will be a light at the end of the tunnel instead of continue to slam your head against a brick wall and be stuck in NBA purgatory. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think the Raptors will trade OG and Siakam? Do you think they'll just trade one of them? Or do you think that they won't trade either of them and try to sign them to an extension in the offseason?